those who are so-called believers have assimilated to do and to be as everyone else. We become so acquainted with this plane of our growth and development that all we think about now is, what material gain can I gain? What can I possess? What can I hold on to? We get up and you see busloads of people, carloads of people going somewhere to work in a situation to bring about money to keep their material things coming. Dying at any age, Allah taking us in any age, thinking not, what is my purpose here? Is this all that there is to my existence? This is something else. And that's why it becomes so easy for us to attach to things of this life as a sense of security. We all have it in our being to submit. We all have it in our being to attach. But attach to what? And that's why Allah Almighty always has to send guidance to break our attachments to that that's not going to connect us to what our origin. And that's why we have to be cut the umbilical cord from our mother to ourselves, because we're no longer attached to our mother. There always has to be a detachment from the detachment. It's a death and a birth. Birth, rebirth. It's a rebirth. And this is why Allah Almighty sent Khidr alayhi salam to Musa alayhi salam. Musa was the prophet of Allah Almighty, having the laws. Allah Almighty spoke to Musa alayhi salam. Allah Almighty sent Musa to a people that for hundreds of years were begging and crying out to Allah to be freed from Satan, Pharaoh, saying, "Oh my Lord, there must be something greater than this. Our own existence of coming and building monuments of material things, that is our only existence." This was a beginning of some kind of consciousness, some kind of awakening. Through that struggle and being beat down and looking at others not living in that same way, caused them to think, why are we living like this? Why are they living like that? Why are we being whipped like this? Why are they free to enjoy their lives? Allah Almighty's wisdom has a means of making us to think, so that we may learn the lessons that Allah Almighty is trying to teach us. The lesson that has caused us to suffer because of our grandparents, Adam and Eve, who were seeing what they were believing in, but yet they were tricked to think that this was greater than where they were. We're going through the same process, but now Allah Almighty is making us to earn it. They saw before they had to earn it back what they were worshiping. Now Allah Almighty sends us here, and we come here blinded and veiled, never having remembered that we knew. Then Allah tests us, and Allah brings such severe tests, because nothing can overcome Allah Almighty. So Allah Almighty puts us in a resistance to show that there is no God but God. And only Allah Almighty is worthy of being worshipped, because that is the only thing that's superior to everything else. It has to be demonstrated so that we may know. Because it wasn't enough that we were told that, Adam and Eve were told that, and they failed. And they had to come to this life and experience the decadence of this life, of this low life, of being veiled from their Lord. And so when we see our people from east to west, north to south, and we see the current events, and we see how people are dying and killing themselves, and all kinds of abominations are happening, we must know that Allah Almighty is going to send His servants to be among them. For what? To remind them that this is not their condition. This is a condition because of lack of remembering their power. When the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, came among the people, he could have just waved his hand or made a dua, and it would have changed just like that. But he lived among the people, and he taught and trained the people that they were more than the eye could see, and they were more than the mind could think. They were beyond anything that they could imagine. He turned them to themselves, because Allah dwells within. Allah says the heart of a believer is the house of Allah Almighty. Because we had lost our belief, the Prophet, peace be upon him, had to come, and through the persecution that he lived among them, they saw his persecution. He felt what they felt. He experienced what they experienced. But yet he was still able to carry on his mission. How? And why? Because he had to. The people had fallen from felicity. 600-year gap between Prophet Jesus and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them. The people in darkness. Jesus Christ, when he came to give them an eternal authority. That's why he said, be in the world but not of the world. Nothing of this world, nothing outside of you gives more power than that that's inside of you. That's the authority. And that's why he was able to command the universe, the elements, the heavens and the earth to support him. Because he realized that he was not of this place. And the Christians don't understand that. And the Jews don't understand it. And the Muslims don't understand that. Because when we see ourselves going in our daily lives only thinking about our material gains and our possessions, and only thinking that our knowledge gives us respect or brings about the things that we want, just our everyday useful knowledge, that's why Allah sent Khidr alayhi salam to Musa to show him that there is a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is dead without any wisdom. And that's why what we see is not the reality of what we see. It's a paradox. We see this world as something decadent, something so low and so out of balance. That's how we see it. But in reality, there is a purification going on. There's a difficulty going on to bring about the ease. We are still in the womb. The trauma and the drama has to take place until we are given birth to be who we were intended to be.